Welcome to COCO English Studio.
Hey everyone! Welcome back to... Wait, Nathan, what is that? Are you eating right now?
Oh, hey everyone. Yeah, it's just a tiny piece of a muffin. I'm so sorry. I didn't have time for breakfast this morning and I was absolutely starving.
Seriously? Right when we press the record button?
I know, my bad. But hey, honestly, it actually fits our topic perfectly today.
Oh, does it? Are we talking about sneaking muffins into a podcast studio?
Very funny. No, we are talking about food, specifically eating out and ordering at a restaurant. By the way, welcome to COCO English Studio, everybody. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Jolie. We are so happy you are here with us today. So let me ask all of you listening right now. Have you ever felt really nervous when you walk into an English-speaking restaurant? Like maybe you know exactly what you want to eat, you've practiced it in your head, but when the waiter comes to your table, your mind just goes totally blank?
Oh, the panic. Yes. You just point at the menu, smile nervously, and say, "This one. Yes, this, please."
Exactly. It is such a common struggle. A lot of English learners feel shy or worried they will say the wrong thing, or maybe even get the wrong food. But don't worry, we completely understand that feeling. Today, we promise you will learn how to handle a restaurant visit with total confidence.
Yes. By the end of this episode, ordering food will feel natural and easy for you. And hey, if you are enjoying our chats here on COCO English Studio, please take a quick second to hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment. It really helps our channel grow, and we honestly love hearing from you.
We really do. Okay, so today, Nathan is going to share a little story about a dinner he had recently. I want you guys to just listen. Don't worry about understanding every single word or grammar rule right now. Just try to get the main idea. Are you ready, Nathan?
I am ready. Let me put my muffin away. Okay, here we go. Yesterday evening, I didn't want to cook, so I went to a nice Italian restaurant near my house. First, I walked in and the hostess asked, "How many?" I said, "A table for one, please." After that, she took me to a small table by the window. A few minutes later, the waiter came over. He asked, "Are you ready to order?" I was really hungry, so I asked for a glass of sparkling water and a large pepperoni pizza. At noon today, I actually had a big lunch, but I was still starving. About 20 minutes later, the food arrived. It smelled amazing. I ate the whole pizza. Finally, when I finished, I caught the waiter's eye and said, "Could I get the bill, please?" I paid with my credit card, left a nice tip on the table, and walked home feeling very happy.
Wow. Okay, first of all, wait, you ate a whole large pizza by yourself?
Hey, I told you I was starving.
I know what starving means, but Nathan, you said at noon you had a big lunch. How do you eat a big lunch and then a whole large pizza for dinner?
What can I say? I love pizza.
That is amazing. You have a superpower. Okay, but let's go back to the beginning of your story. I loved the phrases you used. You walked in and said, "A table for one, please."
Yes. Usually the person at the front door, the host or hostess, will ask how many, or maybe how many people in your party. So you just answer with a table for and the number, like a table for two, or a table for four, please.
It's so simple, but it sounds so natural. When I first started speaking English, I would walk in and say, "I want to sit down. I am one person." It felt so awkward.
Honestly, they still understand you. That's the most important thing. But a table for two is definitely what native speakers say. Also, did you notice I went alone? I love eating alone.
Really? I kind of hate it. I always feel a little shy, like everyone is looking at me. I just stare at my phone the whole time.
No way. Eating alone is the best. You don't have to share your food. You can just enjoy the silence.
I guess so. I prefer going with friends. But anyway, after that, the waiter asked me, wait, he asked you a very famous question. He said, "Are you ready to order?"
Ah, yes. Order. That just means telling the waiter what food you want to buy. But, sometimes the waiter asks that and I am not ready. I always panic a little bit.
Oh, me too. Sometimes the menu is so big, there are like 10 pages of food. If you aren't ready, what do you usually say, Nathan?
I usually just smile and say, "Could we have a few more minutes, please?" Or simply, "Not yet. I need a little more time."
That's perfect. Could we have a few more minutes? Very polite. But in your story, you were ready. You wanted that pizza, and you also ordered sparkling water.
Oh yeah, I love sparkling water.
Okay, we have to talk about this. Sparkling water. This was a huge, huge mistake I made when I visited Europe for the first time.
Wait, what happened?
Well, I sat down at this beautiful cafe, and the waiter asked me, still or sparkling? I had no idea what the difference was. The word sparkling sounded so beautiful and fancy, like a sparkling diamond. So I smiled so proudly and said, "Sparkling, please."
Oh no. Let me guess. You hate bubbles?
I hate it. It tastes like angry water to me. When I took a big drink, I almost coughed all over the table. It has so many bubbles.
That is hilarious. Angry water. Yes, guys, if you don't want bubbles in your water, you must ask for still water. Still water is just normal, flat water. Sparkling water has gas. It has bubbles.
Exactly. I will never make that mistake again. Normal water is still. Beautiful word. Much better taste for me.
You know, it's funny how English has specific words for these things. Like earlier in the story, I said I was starving. I didn't just say I was hungry.
Right. That's a really good point. Hungry and starving are similar, but not exactly the same.
Yeah, it's kind of like the difference between wake up and get up. They seem the same, right? When you wake up, your eyes open. But when you get up, you actually leave the bed.
Oh, that's a great example. I wake up at 6 a.m., but I don't get up until 7 a.m. because I'm lazy.
Exactly. So for food, hungry is just the normal feeling. Like, oh, it's lunchtime, I'm hungry. But starving means you are very, very hungry. Like you feel like you could eat a horse.
Which explains the large pizza.
Exactly.
So, after your angry water and your big pizza, how did you get the waiter's attention? You used a really cool phrase. You said, "I caught the waiter's eye."
Yes, to catch someone's eye. That means you look at them and they look at you at the exact same time. You make eye contact.
I love that phrase because it is so incredibly useful. In a lot of Western countries, you can't shout, "Hey, waiter," across the restaurant. It's considered quite rude.
Right, you don't yell. You definitely don't snap your fingers. Oh, I hate when people snap their fingers at waiters. You just try to catch their eye. Maybe smile and lift your hand just a little bit.
I remember my friend from back home visited me in London once. We were at a really quiet, nice restaurant. He wanted more bread, so he waved his hands in the air like crazy, shouting, "Hello, hello, excuse me." The waiter looked so shocked.
Oh my gosh, what did you do?
I was so embarrassed I wanted to hide under the table. I told him, "Put your hands down."
Oh wow, yeah, definitely don't do that. Just catch their eye. It's much more relaxed. And then once he came over, I asked for the bill. I said, "Could I get the bill, please?"
Now, that's interesting. You said the bill, because we are both used to international English, right? But when I was in New York last year, I asked for the bill, and the waiter looked at me a little confused for a second. My American friend told me, "Actually, here we usually say the check."
Ah, yes, check please. It means the exact same thing. The piece of paper that tells you how much money you need to pay. In the UK, Australia, and many other places, they say the bill. In the USA, they often say the check.
Both are totally fine. People will understand you. But just remember, don't say, "Give me the paper."
Oh yeah, give me the paper sounds a bit aggressive. Always use could I get or can I have. It's much softer.
And then you mentioned that you paid and you left a nice tip. Let's explain that a little bit, because tipping culture is very, very different around the world.
It really is. A tip is extra money you leave for the waiter or waitress to say thank you for good service. In the United States, leaving a tip is very important. Usually, it's about 15 to 20% of the total price.
Wow, 20%. That can be a lot of extra money.
It is, but waiters there rely on that money. If you don't leave a tip in America, they might actually follow you outside and ask what they did wrong.
No way. Really?
Yes, it's happened to friends of mine.
That is so stressful. In some other countries, like Japan, you don't really have to tip, or it's just a very small amount, like keeping the change. But it's always good to know the word, especially if you travel.
Exactly. Oh, and I want to point out one more thing about my story before we listen to it again. Did you notice the little words I used to show time?
Yes, I actually really liked how you told your story. You used words like first, after that, and a few minutes later.
Right. We call those time markers. They help the story flow naturally. Sometimes English learners just say short, broken sentences, like, I walked in, I sat down, I ate pizza, I paid.
It sounds a little bit like a robot. I ate food.
Exactly. But if you say, first, I walked in, a few minutes later, I ordered, finally, I paid, it just sounds so much more human and relaxed. It builds a little bridge between your sentences.
That is a really great tip. And you also used at noon today. Noon just means 12 p.m., exactly the middle of the day.
Yep, I think those little words really make a big difference when you are speaking. It makes you sound confident.
Wow, I completely agree. So, we've talked about asking for a table, still versus sparkling water, ordering, catching the waiter's eye, and paying the bill. I think it is time to listen to Nathan's story one more time.
Yes, if you didn't catch everything the first time, please do not worry. Now that we have talked about all the vocabulary, it will be so much easier. You will hear the words and think, oh, I know that one.
Absolutely. So guys, take a deep breath, relax, and just listen. Try to hear those phrases like ready to order, catch the waiter's eye, and those nice time markers. Take it away, Nathan.
Yesterday evening, I didn't want to cook, so I went to a nice Italian restaurant near my house. First, I walked in, and the hostess asked, how many? I said, a table for one, please. After that, she took me to a small table by the window. A few minutes later, the waiter came over. He asked, are you ready to order? I was really hungry, so I asked for a glass of sparkling water and a large pepperoni pizza. At noon today, I actually had a big lunch, but I was still starving. About 20 minutes later, the food arrived. It smelled amazing. I ate the whole pizza. Finally, when I finished, I caught the waiter's eye and said, could I get the bill, please? I paid with my credit card, left a nice tip on the table, and walked home feeling very happy.
Wow, that felt completely different the second time, didn't it?
I hope so. I hope our listeners felt a lot more comfortable hearing it this time around.
You guys are doing great. Just remember, going to a restaurant and ordering food should be a fun experience, not a scary one. The waiters are there to help you. Even if you make a little mistake or say the wrong word, it's completely okay. You will still get your food.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation. The most important thing is just to practice. Next time you go out to eat, even if it's in your own country, try translating the menu in your head. Ask yourself, how would I order this exact meal in English?
That is a fantastic idea for practice. It turns real life into a little English game. Well, we would love to hear from all of you now. What is your absolute favorite food to order at a restaurant? Are you a big pizza lover like Nathan, or do you prefer something else?
Let us know in the comments below. I read every single one, and I am always looking for new food recommendations.
Me too. And if you had fun hanging out with us today and learning some everyday English, please don't forget to subscribe to COCO English Studio. We have new podcasts coming out all the time, and we'd love for you to join our little community here.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and definitely don't be afraid to make mistakes. You are getting better every single day.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your next restaurant meal. Bye.
See you next time, guys. Bye.